Good day, my dear students. In this video session, let us evaluate the eigenvalue and eigenvector of longitudinal vibration of the constrained uniform circular bar, which is shown here, using dynamic analysis in finite element method. And my dear students, in the previous video on dynamic analysis problem for a stepped bar, we have discussed how to evaluate the eigenvalue and eigenvectors. Now in this video session, let us evaluate the eigenvalues for the vibration of this constrained circular bar as shown here, and also we will determine the natural frequency of vibration for this circular bar. Okay, now the question given is evaluate the eigenvalue and eigenvector of the longitudinal vibration of the constrained uniform circular bar shown in figure. Here it is given that take minimum two elements. If we observe this simple bar, here there is no discontinuity in any of the properties, hence we can consider it as a single element. But in the problem it is mentioned that take minimum two elements. Then let us discretize this simple bar, circular bar, into two elements, two equal elements, like this. Let us generate a finite element model of this like this, and with two equal parts, that is 0.25 meter is the length of the entire simple bar. Now this can be divided into two, then you will get each element length will become 0.125 meters. And the circular bar, this circular bar is having the diameter 0.02 meter, it is given. Hence the area of element 1 and element 2 are same, and it is given by pi by 4 d square, pi by 4 0.02 square. If you calculate, you will get area of element 1 and element 2 is 3.14 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter square. Okay. Young's modulus given is 210 GPa gigapascal. That means the entire bar is made up of same material. Hence Young's modulus of element 1 and element 2 is 210. Giga is 10 raised to 9. 210 into 10 raised to 9. Pascal means Newton per meter square. You write meter square. Hence all the data we have expressed in terms of meters. Okay. And also the density given is 7860 kg per meter cube. It is also given in terms of meter cube per meter cube. Then no need to convert it. And it is given in terms of mass, that is kgs, then no need to convert. Okay, now let us generate the stiffness matrix and mass matrices for both the elements, and let us calculate the global stiffness matrix and global mass matrix as we have seen in the previous video. For the stepped bar problem, we have generated the mass matrices and global mass, the global mass matrix, stiffness matrix, global stiffness matrix. And we have determined eigenvalues and eigenvectors, natural frequency of the vibration and mode shapes of the vibration for the stepped bar in my previous video. You refer that previous video so that it will be easier to solve this particular problem. Okay. Now let us generate the stiffness matrix for element 1. Stiffness matrix for element 1 of a 1D bar is given by AE by L1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Order of the matrix is 2 cross 2. Let us substitute the values of area of element 1, Young's modulus of element 1, length of the element 1 here, as we have discussed in the data here. Length of the element 1 is, okay, length of the element 1 okay. Now length of the element 1 is 0.125 meter, area is 3.14 in 10 raised to minus 4, and Young's modulus 210 in 10 raised to 9, and length of the element 1 is 0.125. If you calculate this ratio, we will get 5.3 into 10 raised to 8. After that, 10 raised to 8 you keep outside the matrix, and 5.3 you write inside, and DOF numbers you write 1 2 1 2 because for element 1 the DOF numbers are node numbers are 1 2, hence you write DOF numbers 1 2 1 2. Okay. Now next, Now let us generate the mass matrix for element 1. It is given by rho AL by 6 2 1 1 2. That is the formula, where rho is the mass density, A is the area of the element 1, length is L is the length of the element. Now you substitute rho 7860 kg per meter cube, area 3.14 into 10 raised to minus 4, length is 0.125 meter. Next 2112. Once you calculate this ratio rho AL by 6, we will get for element 1, we will get 0.05. Okay, this 0.05 you take it inside, you will get the mass matrix for element 1. 0.05 into 2 you will get 0.1, 0.05, 0.05, 0.1. Write the DOF numbers for element 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. That is the mass matrix for element 1 we got. Next, let us generate the stiffness matrix and mass matrix for element 2 by using the same formula, AE by L1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Stiffness matrix for element 2, area, Young's modulus and length of the element 2 you substitute here, as we have discussed the data in the next previous page. All those data for element 2 you substitute here. We will get stiffness matrix for element 2 10 raised to 8 into 5 minus 5.3, the same we got. Next, because the properties are same for element 2 also, you 10 raised to 8 you keep the same common outside as in element 1, then you write 5.3 minus 5.3 minus 5.3 5.3 and write the DOF numbers 2 3 2 3, because element 2 is consisting of nodes 2 to 3. We have numbered the nodes 2 to 3 for element 2. Next, mass matrix you find again the same for element 2, rho AL by 6 2 1 1 2. You substitute mass density, rho, area of the element 2, length of the element 2 here, and by calculating this ratio rho AL by 6 for element 2, by substituting the data for element 2, we will get this ratio we got 0.05. Same ratio we got because same properties as element 1 we have for element 2 also. We will get same mass matrix for element 2 also, that is 0.1, 0.05, 0.05, 0.1. But you write the DOF numbers for element 2 2 3 2 3. Now let us generate the global stiffness matrix. The finite element model, it consisting of 3 nodes, 3 DOFs, hence the order of the global stiffness matrix will be 3 cross 3. Generate 3 rows and 3 columns like this, and transfer the coefficients of the first stiffness matrix K1 into this box 1 2 1 2, and stiffness matrix this coefficients of K2 matrix, transfer these terms into to this 2 3 2 3 box. Okay, remaining blank boxes you write it as 0. Then one common term we got here 5.3 plus 5.3, that is will give you 10.6. Therefore the global stiffness matrix we got like this. And after that global mass matrix, you just transfer the mass matrix for element 1 M1 matrix terms into this box 1 2 1 2, and M2 matrix terms into this box 2 3 2 3. You will get one common here, common cell 0.1 plus 0.1. You add it up, and remaining blank boxes you write it as 0. After that you will write the eigenvalue problem equation. Eigenvalue problem is given by, as we have seen in the previous video, k minus lambda m into u is equal to 0, where k is the global stiffness matrix, lambda is the eigenvalue, m is the mass matrix, global mass matrix, u is the displacement vector. Now you write the global stiffness matrix as we have generated in the previous page. This 10.6 is the common terms we got adding up. Next, minus lambda into global mass matrix we got, as we have seen in the previous page, 0.1 plus 0.1, that is a common term adding up, and into u1 u2 u3 is equal to 0. Once you get this, the boundary condition, we know that it is given by u1 is equal to 0 because first node is fixed. Hence u1 is 0. Since u1 is 0, using elimination approach, eliminate first row, first column of the matrix, both the matrices. Then remaining is the characteristic equation for eigenvalue problem. For eigenvalues, to calculate the eigenvalues, the characteristic equation is given by determinant k minus lambda m is equal to 0. You write k minus lambda m, you write first k matrix only this much term. After eliminating first row, first column, you write only this much term, determinant of k 10 raised to 8 into 10 raised to 10.6, 5 minus 5.3 minus 5.3, 5.3, minus lambda into only this much term m matrix you write 0.2, 0.05, 0.05, 0.1. This determinant is equal to 0. K minus lambda m is equal to 0 once you write. After that, solve this determinant. How do you solve it? 10 raised to 6 into 8 minus lambda into 0.2. First term we got minus 5.3 into 10 raised to 8 minus lambda into 0.05. And third term minus 5.3 into 10 raised to 8 minus 0.05 lambda. This one. Fourth term 5.3 into 10 raised to 8 minus lambda into 0.1. This one we wrote. After that, once you write this k minus lambda m 4 terms like this, once you generate in the determinant, equate it to 0. After that, this determinant you solve. How do you solve it? Product of these two terms minus product of these two terms. Okay. Now you take the product of these two first, like this. After that, minus of product of these two will be, this can be written as minus of into bracket 5.3 into 10 raised to 8 plus 0.05 lambda. Both are same, both these terms, so that 5.3 into 10 raised to 8 5.3 into 10 raised to 8 plus 0.05 lambda. Since both are the same terms, you can write it as square. Okay, that is minus into minus, it will get plus, and minus of this you will get. Then you will get this term into this term, I wrote here, and minus of this square, that is 5.3 into 10 raised to 8 plus 0.05 lambda whole square. After that is equal to 0. Then by simplifying this equation, by separating the terms for lambda square, lambda and constant, we will get the quadratic equation. By simplifying this, we will get the quadratic equation. What is that quadratic equation? 0.0175 lambda square minus 2.12 in 10 raised to 8 lambda minus 5.3 in 10 raised to 7 lambda. These two has to be added up. Next page we will discuss. Plus 2.809 in 10 raised to 17 is equal to 0. Okay. Next, in the next page we will move on. Here you can observe we got 0.0175 lambda square minus 2.65 into 10 raised to 8 lambda plus 2.809 into 10 raised to 17 is equal to 0. For solve the solution of this quadratic equation is given by lambda is equal to minus b plus or minus b square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a, where a is 0.0175, b is minus 2.65 into 10 raised to 8, and c is 2.809 into 10 raised to 17. After that, substitute a, b, c values into this formula. Okay, we will get like this. That means we will get the ratio of this will give you 75.71 in 10 raised to 8. Next, the ratio of this is 2.25 in 10 raised to 8 divided by 0.035 will give you 64.28 in 10 raised to 8. After that, next eigenvalues, we will get first eigenvalue lambda 1. We got 75.71 into 10 raised to 8 plus 64.28 in 10 raised to 8 will give you first eigenvalue lambda 1 is equal to 140 in 10 raised to 8. Second eigenvalue, by subtracting, by taking this minus sign, we will get 11.43 into 10 raised to 8. We got like this two eigenvalues we have found. After that, natural frequency of the vibration, we will get lambda 1 is given by omega 1 square, where omega is the natural circular frequency. Circular frequency is given by 2 pi f. 2 pi f1 you substitute whole square, and 140 into 10 raised to 8 is the lambda 1 you substitute. 2 pi whole square is, you will get 39.478 into f1 square. From this you can find f1 value. First natural frequency of vibration is 18,831.56 hertz. We got this frequency. Similarly, second natural frequency from lambda 2 is equal to 2 pi f2 whole square, and lambda 2 you substitute, we got 11.43 in 10 raised to 8 is equal to 2 pi whole square is 39.478 into f2 square. We will get, if you solve this equation, we will get f2 second natural frequency 5380.78 hertz. Okay, now this is how we can determine the natural frequency of the vibration, as well as eigenvalues of the eigenvalues for the simple bar and shown, and the natural frequency of the vibration for the bar shown, we can evaluate. Okay, my dear students, in the next video the same problem we will discuss to determine. We will continue this solution so that we can determine, in the next video we can determine the eigenvectors, as well as we will draw the mode shapes of vibration for this simple bar problem in the next video. I hope you have understood, my dear students. Thank you. Take care, stay safe, stay healthy.